I welcome you to our program that is entitled Integrated Theology. Today we're going to continue in Lecture 4 of Theosophy Philosophy. This is Supplemental Lecture 6, and we will discuss Methodological Doubt, the Cartesian Doubt. I am your host, Bishop Dr. Derek A. Reeves. Let's dive right in. The Cartesian doubt is a systemic philosophical approach devised by the French philosopher René Descartes in 1596 through 1650. And so Descartes found it very interesting because he proposed an extreme or hyperbolic skepticism used not to prove that knowledge is impossible, but rather to establish a certain foundation for all knowledge and truth. The phrase, enemy to all he reads, effectively captures the essence of this method. Descartes resolves to the provisionally to treat it as false, any belief that can be doubted in the slightest degree. Challenging all his prior opinions derived from tradition, authority, or his own experience, he adopts the aggressive, skeptical position or posture to eliminate all potential unreliable information, thus paving the way for indubitability or the indubitable truth. The process of methodological doubt. All types of belief are subjected to rigorous scrutiny in three main stages. The first stage, doubt of the senses or empirical knowledge. We were to question the reliability of knowledge gained through the senses. The argument was, since our senses have deceived us in the past, optical illusions, distant objects appearing smaller, they are not perfectly trustworthy, Descartes said. If a source of knowledge can deceive us even once, we must treat it as potentially false entirely. So the three elements of foundational research was, and I coined it this way to give us a greater understanding of how to implement research. Hear what is being said, tuning the mind to truly listen to what has been said, not just the words, but the content. And so we have to evolve and enter a little into what I call the philosophical hermenine or hermeneutics, hearing with the mind to analyze, to see what is the speaker truly communicating. This does not mean to overthink, to add more into, but to truly listen to what's being said. Then you have to see what is being done. What is truly being done with the voice, with the message, with the context. Everything has an objective. And if an individual is speaking a certain way, even using the tonality, the timbre, the rising in the pitches, the rising in the sound, whether it's soft, and then to bring it up to a new crescendo or loudness, there is an objective. And so we must see what is being done, even in discussion while we're listening. And then number 3, ask more questions of the text. Questions are not stupid, but questions should be to pursue more information in your inquiry. You're trying to discover more because you've learned and began to understand something. And so the questions, hopefully, are going to yield more answers concerning about what you've learned. Then there is dreaming the argument. or dreaming about the reality of the concept. This stage extends the doubt to include the belief in the external world itself. The argument. He notes that he has often been convinced he was awake and perceiving reality when he was, in fact, dreaming. Since there is no certain mark to distinguish a waking experience from a vivid dream, he must doubt that his physical body and external reality exist at all. Now, I'm giving to you the Cartesian belief system on how to deal with truth and knowledge. The third factor, the evil genius / deceiver argument, dealing with rational knowledge. This is the most extreme form of doubt, often called hyperbolic doubt. This doubt even targets mathematical truths. This reveals the importance of the proology of developing proper parentheticals and appropriate foundations for a system of studying. This argument is very important because it indicates that there must be, first of all, an ology. What are you studying? And then what must you do to set everything up, to categorize it so you can examine it? And so the argument, there exists an all-powerful malevolent demon or evil genius whose sole purpose is to deceive him about everything. And this deception is about everything, which includes mathematical facts, geometrical facts, and those seemingly self-evident truths, which can be conceivably false. And so he arrived at this summation: cogito ergo sum. The purpose of his destructive process is to find a single, undeniable truth, the indubitable certainty. After doubting everything, his senses, the external world, and even mathematical truths, he finds that he cannot doubt the fact that he is doubting. This very act of attempting to doubt requires the existence of a doubter. And so the conclusion, cogito ergo sum, I think, therefore I am. He knows that he is absolutely thinking. As a thinking thing, a res cogitans, even if the contents of his thoughts about the external world is false or manipulated by a deceiver, the undeniable truth provides a secure starting point from the basis that he exists and that he can think. And so this methodological doubt is therefore a constructive form of skepticism. It is a tool to dismantle flawed foundations, to meet or to erect certain structures of knowledge. Doubting everything then causes the person to scrutinize everything. When you hear what's being said, truly hear, and through philosophical hermeneutics, begin to interpret what is being said, see what's being done, truly examining and analyzing the objective based upon what has been said to you, what is being said to others, and the response that this knowledge, this information, and this communication, what is it elucidating? What is your feelings on it? How are you thinking about it? And so, doubting, hearing, seeing, and asking more questions of the text. Why are we considering this? What caused this knowledge to come into being? What is the objective of the knowledge? Is this knowledge ringing true according to Scripture? Because when we bring the Scripture into it, it becomes a solid base, a solid repository of data. And this data, because we've studied scriptural bibliology, we understand the historicity of the existence of the scrolls and the documents and all the manuscripts that have been proven by time to be written from those who established it so many thousands of years ago. This is all the time we have. We thank you for being with us. This has been Integrative Theology, our fourth class, Theosci Philosophy, Lecture 4. And I am your host, moderator, your lecturer, Bishop Dr. Derek A. Reeves. Until the next time, God bless you and keep you. And remember, Jesus is coming back again.